Oh, hello everybody and welcome to the latest episode of the Megavision Show. Today is October the 15th, 2021. And joining me this week, if his internet holds out, turn around, look at what you see in his face, the mirror of your dreams. It's Chris Powell. And where do you go, my lovely, when you're alone in your bed? Tell him the thoughts that surround you. He wants to look inside your head. Yes, he does. It's Scotty Mo. Hey, everybody. How you doing, guys?
I thought you were going to
How's it going?
Never-ending Chris or something. Wasn't that Never-ending Story lyrics, or am I in a different world?
That they were Never-ending Story. That's a good ear or good knowledge of lyrics. I think you've got there. It's welcome back, Scotty. It's been a while. Welcome back.
Hello, I'm back.
Yeah, for one episode only, or back for good? As take that said.
We'll see how it flies here, as the crow goes, or whatever they say.
Nice, I like it. Yes. So thanks everyone. Thanks for joining. As always, we've got a great show for you. It's been the return of real life conventions, and Chris and Scotty will dish the dirt on their time at Too Many Games in Philadelphia last weekend. So Megavision's gang was there. Sans me. I wasn't there because flying around, COVID, scary stuff. Plus, we got some hot and spicy news for you, with more info on the Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack. That's a mouthful. And could the Switch soon become a handheld Sega Saturn? I bloody well hope so. Yes, but before we get started, have we got any magazine news? Do you want to talk about anything, guys? Magazine related?
Do we?
Happen?
What's this right here in my hands, ladies and gentlemen? I don't know if this goes up to audio listeners at all, but this is issue number 01. That's your face, Graham.
Yeah, I'm trying to now make you bigger, and for some reason it doesn't want to be bigger.
Issue 1, we did an early print of it just in time, and boy, do I mean just in time for Too Many Games. But it's got the FF7 remake versus OG, or as I like to call it, Never Talk to Me or My Son Again issue cover there for the reboot. And it's fresh and it's ready and it's shiny and it's bright and it's here and it's good to go. But we've got the big order coming so that we can get that version out to the patrons. So these were on sale at Too Many Games. So you guys kind of got a TMG exclusive, because there might even be some little edits coming up for this, but it is here. Big difference in the cover. It's got the big old number 1 up there, but down on the bottom, we have everything that's in the issue. So it's all the informative splash there. So, but I forgot that we even did the table of contents like this, but I like our little descriptions in there. Everything. Graham has the first feature in there, all of them reboots.
Yeah.
And then my thing is second in there. So we've got all the important people writing first. And then the back has all our old covers, but it also has our motto, Revisit Retro, Print the Future, which I think looks pretty cool in print.
Yes, that does.
And then there's some photos there of the podcast and last time's Too Many Games. So
nice.
All kinds of stuff in here. This is our most features-filled issue to date. I think to date. And it kind of just worked out that way, but I'm probably the most proud of that overall out of anything in terms of content for this, that we have more features and more unique stuff in this issue than any other issue.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
It's looking good seeing it live. I actually don't have a hands on my copy just yet, but it's looking good. I'm glad it's in print. It's looking sexy in your hands there. Rob's done an amazing job with that cover, and look at those articles. Oh, great stuff.
Yeah, it pops. Things pop in this.
Nice.
We work. Good old Danny boy, our new helping out with the layout, new to the staff, but not new to layouts, and it's thanks to him majorly that it looks the way it does now. So
some top work.
So,
there.
do you want to add anything to that, Chris? Because you've felt it, you've dealt it.
I'm going to attempt to talk. I don't know if my internet's going to hold up, but this issue came together. We put in our the bulk order a couple of days ago. We had some issues with some short bleeds on some of the pages. So we had to fix that up, and everything's now done for issue 1. Like you said, Scotty, the bulk order has been placed, so now we're just waiting for the printer to get those copies to us so that we can start fulfilling some of our patrons' orders. Once that's done, we'll put a product listing on the website at www.megavisions.net/shop, where you can go and actually buy issue 1. You'll also be able to buy the issue 1 poster featuring art by Sketchcraft that's focused on Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy VII Remake, which includes a Neo Retro feature in the magazine. And the layout itself actually has some additional original art by Sketchcraft that I think is pretty awesome. So Scotty's showing it off here. So definitely check it out. It will be $10 when it's listed. And then we have flat rate shipping in the US. And then we also ship internationally as well. So get on it. And then also just make sure, if you haven't yet, jump on that Patreon at patreon.com/megavisions, where you can go and sign up and be sure you don't miss any future copies or issues of the magazine.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice job.
There's Graham.
I like it. Yeah. For some reason, so the system we're using, normally it lets me shift around cameras, but for some reason, this is one time it hasn't let me do that. So that's really good. Yeah. Thank you, Restream. But yeah, with that, let's strap in and kick off the show properly. Back now. Yo-hoo! Yes. Welcome, everybody. And I think we should just kick off with... well, actually, no, let's kick off with something completely different. Let's kick off with what we've been up to. So, Chris, buddy, do you want to tell us what you've been up to?
Oh, man. So the big thing is getting the office finished. We finally got the bulk of the construction and everything done. We have some finishing stuff still left to do, like putting in drop ceilings and that sort of thing. But the office is pretty much operational now. We're getting everything moved in. I would love to show you, but my Wi-Fi sucks. If I go in the building, I think I'd lose signal. I actually had Comcast out here today. They were out surveying the property because I'm going to run a separate line to this building because the Wi-Fi, it's too far away on my property. My buildings aren't very close together. I mean, they're close enough, but they're probably, I don't know, maybe in a typical neighborhood, they're probably about like 2 or 3 houses apart. And so the Wi-Fi just doesn't reach it. So that's the big thing. Like, before I can really, really get in there working, I have like a really ghetto like Wi-Fi setup right now that I can actually get in and use it. I'm outside right now, obviously, so the Wi-Fi is working. But it's just not fast enough for me to actually like really work yet. I was trying to upload some of the pages that Danny had fixed to our printer, and it was just taking ages. And I was like, I was so frustrated. I'm still frustrated. I'm still pissed off about everything.
Over in the mega barn, you've got 56K,
the guy was supposed to come today,
while the other house has actual internet.
Is it just running on Dreamcast broadband?
Yeah, no, honestly, like I might be able to play Phantasy Star Online right now, but you can't use any anything though. You got to turn all the voice stuff off.
Oh yeah,
that's about it. We could use keyboard and shit, but no. Other than that, I mean, it's. I'm excited. I'll be more excited once it's all like I have everything moved in. I've been this week. I've been making trips to the storage unit, which Scotty, you saw. We have so much stuff still left in there. But I did about 2 full truck beds full of runs, and it was mainly video game stuff. And I still have more stuff in there now. It's ridiculous how much video games I've accumulated over the years, and I kind of forgotten how much it was until I kind of had it all put like out in front of me. And so I'm going to need to buy like 6 or 7 just bookshelves full of just to be able to put all the games and stuff on. It's ridiculous. But I'm excited to finally get those up. It's been a long time. I think the last time I've had my collection like properly displayed was probably when I was still living in Maryland, when I had that one awesome basement with the wood grain, built-in shelves. That was pretty cool. That was a long time ago.
Would have been when I remember seeing the little angry video game nerd thing behind you on a shelf. It might have been that long ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I still have that. But no, that's been like one of my big projects. Obviously, my plan was to have it done and ready in time for Too Many Games. And we were able to get it ready, but not as quite as finished as I wanted to. In fact, one of my good friends, Cody, who was at Too Many Games, we'll talk about more later, but he came to help me get it. He came a few days before Too Many Games, and I'm glad he did because we basically finished painting all the inside. We put down like this awesome garage cement paint on the floor. I think it looks pretty good now. So without his help, I wouldn't have been able to get it done. But that's been the big thing. I'm trying to think what else has been going on.
Cody was
really. Yeah, Cody definitely was. But we'll obviously talk about Too Many Games in a minute. But I did sign us up for Retro World Expo, which I would like to talk really quickly about. That's up in Hartford, Connecticut. It's the first time I've ever been there. I've been wanting to go for a few years now, but it just never seemed to work out. This one, I think it's November the 5th through the 6th, I believe. I don't have it in front of me, but I think it's the first weekend in November. But I'm excited. We're going to have a booth there. Megavision's issue 1 will be on sale, in addition to the posters and lots of other products that we had at Too Many Games. So if you missed us at Too Many Games and you're in the Northeast area, go to Retro World Expo.
Oh, wow. That's the same weekend as Extra Life. So tell everybody on Saturday, hey, turn on Twitch real quick. We're streaming.
Nice.
Maybe I'll just have my laptop streaming right at our booth.
Sure.
And it'll just be right from there. It'll just be your stream. So
that'd be cool.
Let's see.
Cool. Scotty, what have you been up to?
Boy, nothing and everything, because I should have had a day off after Too Many Games, but I couldn't have one. Blackout days, aren't they fun? So I called in sick on Tuesday, but I for another podcast that I'll mention at the end, I watched the sci-fi horror movie Galaxy of Terror, which has not aged great, but it is, oh boy, this isn't the Red Band trailer, is it? Okay, you're good. Yeah, it's something. But James Cameron James Cameron, not John Carpenter. I get them confused because they're both JCs. I won't say much about it. It's just a lot of things were inspired from it, and it was inspired by a lot of things. It's from 1981. That's all you need to know. The deaths are cool, most of them. But yeah. And otherwise, though, besides Too Many Games, I did actually just play an indie Genesis game on Wednesday when I was streaming, called Curse of Ilmor Bay. Pretty fun little 2D platforming Halloween-y themed thing for the Genesis that Second Dimension put out. It's really cool. It's difficult, but not like brutally unfun difficult. When we were streaming, though, the dev of the game, Second Dimension, was actually hanging out in our Twitch chat, so that was really neat because they were giving me some pro tips and just some factoids and like, this is inspired by this is inspired by this, you know. Like one of the levels is named at is called Sanderson something, but it's after the Sanderson sisters in Hocus Pocus, you know, things like that. But yeah, it's a cool little platforming thing. And they've got another game coming out that just beat its Kickstarter called Ira. It looks like sort of the protagonist in that, she looks like what's her name from Golden Axe. But
okay. Tyrus Flair.
But yeah, no, Ilmor Bay is fun. It's 2-player. I think it's alternating, kind of like Mario Brothers 3 or something. But it's a pretty solid platforming game, and I liked it. And it's also, I think it's also on Steam.
Ah, nice.
But yeah, that's fun. I of course will recommend grab that physical clamshell thingamajig there. The manual's full color too, and it has achievements in the game as well. Let's see, what else do I have jotted down here? Finished up Marvel's What If series that I didn't know was out, and then I watched, and then I caught up, and then I finished it, and I was like, oh man, I dug this. And I was not a fan of the animation at first. It's cel shaded, but it's weird because it's like, could they not get the exact likeliness of the characters? And so that's just not quite, I don't know, maybe it's the animation. But for anyone on the fence of it, it's fun. It is super depressing for like 80% of the series. But
wow.
I will not spoil anything, but after I was done watching it, Rachel has not cared about Loki or Captain or Falcon, what's his name, Winter Soldier. Yeah. I mean, Graham, you and I both agreed that was like probably the weakest out of the TV series that they've
definitely
done. I've told people you can straight up skip that unless you want to watch like the last cool fight scenes in the last episode.
Yeah.
I mean, that series kind of just had to happen just to progress those characters, But like, yeah, the WandaVision is probably still our favorite, and Loki I really, really like though. I've told her she only cares about Spider-Man, so I'm like, honey, I think you got to watch What If though, like before Spider-Man and the next Doctor Strange movie comes out. That's all I'm gonna say, because anything more is definitely gonna be spoilers. But yeah, if you want some crazy What If stuff, it's not too bad. And then they're digestible. It's like half-hour episodes each, and it's all out now. You don't have to wait every Wednesday or whatever to watch it. So
so I need to watch this because I knew this existed. I genuinely didn't know it was an animated thing. I've literally seen no trailers for it or anything. This is the first time I've seen anything to do with it. I've heard people talking about it, but I'm like, cool. But I just didn't even think to look at it. So yeah, I need to.
Cody and I were talking about it over Too Many Games weekend, and we were both just like fanboying out over like this thing and that thing. And we're like, oh my gosh, we can't wait for Spider-Man and all this other stuff. So it was pretty neat because he was like the first person I actually talked to about the series. But it is. Yeah, I also did not know it was out, and then I was like, oh, I'll check it out on a lunch break, and then I was watching it every lunch break. So, yeah.
So, do they have they don't have the voices of the original?
I like.
Oh, sorry, Chris.
Most of the cast is in there. Like Cumberbatch is, and I can't remember who else, honestly.
Nice. Okay, cool. Chris, sorry, what were you saying? Sorry.
I was just going to comment on. I know Scotty was saying that he was kind of iffy on the animation and some of the art direction. I thought it was kind of cool because it seemed like it was almost a combination of traditional Disney style and how they draw their faces and their eyes, especially. I thought with the Marvel likenesses, I thought it was kind of a cool blend. You could still tell, in my opinion, you could still tell it was a Disney character, but it had that Marvel likeness and spin on it. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, if they didn't animate it, it would be like a movie budget each episode. So it makes sense that they animated this rather than doing it live action.
Yeah. Definitely.
I'm not saying it was. I'm not suggesting it was to be a live action. I'm saying a traditional Disney animated visual style with how Disney typically draws and animates their faces and stuff. It's just in kind of in line with that.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I could see
pretty good. I like the entire series.
Oh, sorry. I could see what you're saying from the brief animation I just saw in the trailer. Like their faces their eyes and noses did remind me of traditional Disney animation sort of things. So yeah, maybe you're right there. Maybe that's what it is.
No, and some of this, especially in the last episode, some of just this, like the scenes, it's so amazing. You definitely need to watch it. I thought it was such a great show, and I was a huge fan of the What If series growing up. So I read a lot of comics, and so I was super. It was awesome to see more of the Watcher, and you get to see a different side of the Watcher than you probably used to seeing. And so I think for that, that was worth it enough for me to go and watch it, just because the Watcher is a big pimp.
Cool. Nice. Scotty, anything else?
Not really.
No.
I mean, we'll get into too many games and stuff. I have a couple pickups from that, but it's not anything to super write home about quite yet. I'm wearing one of them, but otherwise, yeah.
Cool.
Otherwise, I don't have much of a life. It feels like.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, from my side, not a huge amount of stuff. Well, some stuff's going on. I'm actually selling my flat. So
yeah, what the hell?
It probably doesn't look like it, but there's a lot of stuff that's missing from this room. Like there used to be loads of stuff down here, and now there's not. And I had loads more games consoles under my TV. Now there's not. So yeah, they've shipped them all to my parents' house. But we're selling this place. We've already got an offer on it, but we've got some more people looking at it tomorrow. And then yeah, we're going to look to move to a house because this little flat it's not really big enough anymore. Just yeah. We want a bit of outdoor space and things like that. Yeah. Anyway, first world problems, I guess. But yeah, other than that, it's yeah.
So that's just why though. You just need more space. You're not getting a dog or anything.
Oh no, nothing like that's happening. Just we're kind of grown out of it, I guess. Just being stuck here for like 2 years in lockdown and stuff, and I now work from home basically. It's kind of like I'm here all the time. I'm just like, I am kind of fed up with this place. It'd be nice to have our own place to actually
tell me about it.
If I want to knock down a wall, I can knock down a wall down there, If I want to destroy this house, I want to destroy this house. But I can't do that right now. But yeah, so yeah, we're just looking at moving, and yeah, just work's been really busy because it's the run up to Black Friday, and Black Friday is the busiest period for my company. So yeah, fun times. But I did get a couple of pickups recently. One of them I haven't got here because I've actually shipped off to my mum's house, which is the Intrepid Izzy. It's like the limited edition Kickstarter thing, which comes in a big box. I don't know if you guys have seen that at all. It's awesome.
Not that version. Who knows when the hell mine will get here because I'm in another country.
Yeah, well, yeah. It comes in this really cool big box that sort of folds up, and it's got all this. It's got like some Intrepid Izzy toys and stuff in it, and it looks cool. I've posted some stuff up on social media when I got it. But yeah, hopefully when we move into the next place, I can get it out and actually show people because I love it. Another thing, whoa. I started about to play a trailer and it was really loud in my ears. So yeah, another thing I picked up is Sonic Colors. Woo! So I got the limited edition one for the Xbox One, and I haven't even opened it yet because my Xbox One isn't here. So yeah, that's packed away. So that's really good. And another thing I picked up, which I am digging, is let's bring up a trailer for this one as well. Screw it. Let's do it live. Right, here we go. It's Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania, and
yeah, that was out too.
Oh. I tell you what, so I've got the Switch version here. Actually, courtesy of Sega. Thank you, Sega America. They actually sent it to me. Love it. I really enjoy this game because I like the Monkey Ball games back in the day. I was never really got into them hugely because I didn't have a GameCube at the time. And I've got the old Wii version. I've got the DS version and really enjoy them. I am terrible at them though. I'm not very good. So when I get to the harder levels, I'm kind of just like frustrated most of the time. But the party games, this is worth buying for the party games alone. They are so much fun. So I've been really digging those. I know the multiplayer, but I don't know if they're online multiplayer. They might be. I haven't had a chance to actually test that out.
Yeah.
It does say, I don't know actually. I can never. It says 1 to 4 players on the back, but I never know if that actually means online play or not on Switch games. So
yeah,
it does say about wireless internet access required for online features, so maybe there is. So yeah, I need to work that out.
But there's DLC for that game, so that's probably all that.
That's probably all that is then. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. So yeah, really, really digging Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. If you haven't picked it up, do because it's just really fun. It's really good. Yeah, cool. So that's basically it for me this week. Yeah, not much else to say really. So with that, do you guys want to rap to us about what happened last weekend?
Well, Chris, why don't you kick it off because you were there before me?
I'll try. My internet's getting really bad, so just cut me off. Stop me if it starts getting too bad. So Too Many Games is in Oaks, PA. This is probably my 5th or 6th time going, but it's been a year or two since we've had Too Many Games because it's been they've been shutting it down for COVID. So this is I think this is one of the first conventions I've really gone to since this whole COVID thing has really started. It felt weird, I think, the first day, and really the whole weekend. It just felt a little. I think everyone is trying to just get back into, I guess, some sense of normalcy. I thought they did an overall good job with, the masks, everything. They made masks mandatory. And I think that was really the only major thing. Did you see any other, COVID style? There was plenty of, hand sanitizer. We had a ton at our booth, too. But overall, I think they did a good job with that. And it's going to be interesting. I mean, this is something, that we're still trying to test out, having conventions again, post-COVID, hundreds, if not thousands of people inside an enclosed building, that sort of thing. So we'll see. But overall, I had a lot of fun. The first day was Friday. And I think, Scotty, you said you weren't there Friday. You were there, I think, on Saturday. The first day... what were you gonna say?
Oh, I said when you were I forgot my mic was muted. I was gonna say with COVID compliant stuff, my fishing rod controllers are now the cleanest accessories that I own because we had wipes and Connor and I were trying to wipe those down as often as possible.
Yeah, that was one of the things we talked about that we knew going in that we needed to try to keep sanitary and everything. So we did. I thought we did a good job with that. But yeah, Friday was crazy because we got everything in, loaded all the stuff up and got it all in Friday. And it was a late start. So I think they started around 2 or something in the afternoon. So it was a short day, but it was exciting to finally get the booth set back up, have issues of Megavisions there. We had some of our old issues, 8 and 9 there. We had the Living the Dream poster. We ended up selling out of the April O'Neil poster over the weekend, which was kind of exciting too. And then I'm trying to think. Friday was kind of uneventful. There wasn't too much going on. I think everyone's kind of waiting for the weekend, so it was more of just kind of everyone's getting set up. What's that?
Some people swung by the booth though, and somebody made a certain phone call that I was not there for.
What did you do, Chris?
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool. So James and Adam Korlick stopped by our booth. Just to check it out. And we showed them that in this issue, we had a really cool interview with Corey Marshall. And so Adam gets all excited and we start talking about it. There's actually a photo of Adam in the issue along with Corey, Marson, I think myself, and Adam Scipione as well. But he got all excited. He ended up calling Corey at our booth. And Corey was kind of talking to us at the booth and he was all excited to see his article. And so we gave Adam a few extra copies to send in Corey. And we'll be sending some more out to other folks who were interviewed in this issue. But that was really cool, just to kind of see those guys and then hear Corey on the phone. He was really excited about it. So I think that was probably the highlight of day one was just hearing Corey at the booth. It just made it pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Scotty, I'll turn it over to you for the day 2 talk.
Hell yeah. So I could not get off Friday. Ideally, I would have had Thursday through Tuesday off or something ridiculous. But so because I had to still work on Friday, the earliest flight out that was going to make it to Philly, technically before Saturday, didn't leave my house or the Pittsburgh area until 8, flew down to Charlotte, North Carolina, and then over to Philly. So I got there around midnight Friday night going into Saturday. Chris is very gracious. Him and Jamie welcomed me into their house again. Chris picked me up from the airport. Philly Airport has its own special rush hour, apparently 24/7, but that was something. So we got to Chris's, and we're like, this is when we wake up, whatever. And we were thinking, oh, the convention I think we thought it started at 10. So we were going to try to leave at 9. And then in the morning, we found out, oh, no, it doesn't start till 11. We got time. Eventually, I got a shower. And then we're like, oh, shit. I'm so glad that I even thought to ask Chris, like, hey, is the Dreamcast there? And he was like, no, we got to go pick it up at the storage unit. I'm like, cool. All right. Item number 1 that I'm already going.
No, at first I thought you brought the Dreamcast.
Yeah. Well, that's why, I had asked you and you thought that I brought it. And I was like, no, I barely fit the poster standees and crap in my stupid suitcase. And so we go to the storage unit and he's like, all right, I got 2 Dreamcasts. One of them's busted, though, because Odin yanked it out of the freaking wall or something when we were playing Shenmue. I'm like, oh, I found one. And I open it up. It's got Shenmue. And then eventually we find the correct one. And then I'm like, there's no cables with it. What are we going to do? And he's like, well, we got the pound cable. We got an HD cable. And I text Anti-Chris. I'm like, do we have a power cable or can we find one at the convention? He's like, I got one with my Japanese Dreamcast that I bought because he hates money. And so we eventually get to the show. We're already late. And I'm like probably sweating. I was wearing a t-shirt, but like my pitters were already down to the edges of my sleeves because I'm just like, we're late. I got to set everything up. Everything, even though the booth is already here, I got to do this thing and make Pole Calibur happen and be magical. And so setting stuff up. Chris and Connor are there. Shout out real quick to Connor, the total MVP of the weekend, for helping out with our booth. He used to be kind of a Scrubverse affiliate. He's basically a buddy of Chris and Corey's. But he was running the booth. He was slinging magazines. He was talking us up and everything. So we get there, and I set up the Dreamcast. I brought my VMU, plugged in a controller port 3, fishing rods in a port 1 and 2. If no one knows what I'm talking about, we set up Pole Calibur to bring people over to the booth because everybody's like, what are these fishing rods doing in front of this TV screen? Oh, Andy. And so you can see it in this picture that we have up now. We get everything set up. Monitor's good to go. We've got posters lined out, everything. I open up my Soul Calibur case. No disc is in the case. Oh. So my game is back in my house in my Dreamcast from the last convention I just ran over the last weekend. And I'm like, oh my fucking God. So Chris is like, here's some money. Connor, go find Soul Calibur and buy it for the booth. And so like we're setting up stuff. The convention floor is already open. It's like 11:30 by now or something like that. And, I'm just trying to focus on my one job that I have. And Connor swings back pretty quick. And I'm like, all right, are we good? He's like, you tell me. Flashes up Soul Calibur. I'm like, hell yeah, let's pop this baby in. Doesn't load. Doesn't go past the title screen. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ. So I'm like, Chris, it's not working. We're going to go return this, and Connor and I are going to find a working one. We're looking around the floor. We eventually find a booth. Out of everything else, everything's like kind of eBay prices. Wasn't great. And we eventually find a booth. Soul Calibur's like on a bookshelf. I'm like, hey, how much is that Soul Calibur? The guy pulls it out, $50 damn. And I'm like, could I talk you down to 35 or 40? He's like, I'll do 40 if you got cash. Bada bing, bada boom. And I was like, you just saved our weekend. We're trying to run a tournament and do this thing over at our booth. We're with Megavisions. Do you have a card or something I can tell people to come here? And he's like, yeah, here's my card. I'm Ray, whatever. So we go over there, set it up, put a second copy of the game in, load it up. I noticed one of the fishing rods isn't working. And I plug in a couple of different things into controller port 2. Oh my God. And I'm like, because last time, and Chris will remember this, I thought that one of my fishing rods was just not working at all. And so we bought a fishing rod last time. And then I'm like plugging things in. I'm like, it's port 2. It's just port 2. And we have to have a tournament with controller 1 and 2. And so I'm like, I look at Chris, and I'm sure that he was barely hearing what I said at first, but I was like, we need a new Dreamcast. And And Connor was like, can't we just use Anti-Chris's? I'm like, no, that's a Japanese model. It's not going to run this game. I don't even know if it'll read my VMU. Like, I'm not going to try to gamble with that. So I immediately go back to that same booth, and I'm like, I looked the salesman dead in the eye. I'm like, guess what? And he didn't say anything. I was like, now our Dreamcast isn't working. Port 2's not working. Is that an American Dreamcast? How much do you want for it? He just pulls it off the shelf, and I was like, we were thinking like 80, 75. He's like, just take it. We'll talk about it later. I was like, all right, cool. You're the best person in this convention right now. That one worked fine. We got it set up. Eventually we did a tournament, but this was like the first hour of the whole weekend for me. And I'm just like, can I leave now? I think I'm done. So it was just, but it was cool. So Pole Calibur always brings people over, and it's always like a good, even if they don't end up buying the magazine or buying our shit, it's still fun to just be like, yeah, how about this insanity? And people still walk away, especially kids and like parents of kids and stuff are just like, this is ridiculous and great. But the weekend overall, it felt busier, but also more productive. And it was just great. It was good. It was good to get back into the flow of things, because I just closed every window I needed. Great. It was fun to have the crew all getting the band back together. But so I had just done a convention the weekend before, so I was kind of in that headspace, but not as much, with like Pole Calibur going on and a tournament and everybody right there. And again, Connor was the MVP. I'm stalling because I need to get my notes back in front of me. But I was trying to, sorry guys. It was fun, and I did grab a couple of things. I'll go through those real quick. I tried to enter a Saturn Bomberman tournament, which didn't go great, and I don't want to trash talk, but when you run a tournament, running a tournament is no joke. It's not just like sit down, call people's names on a list. I think we all kind of know that now. Like a present company here. But the short version is that they needed to have someone who knew the game to run this tournament, because I was seriously setting stuff up at one point. The even shorter version is I left early. It was cool to see people playing Bomberman, but it was more important to go have like a post-show dinner with Anti-Chris and Corey and Connor and Chris. And so that was a lot of fun. I did grab a couple of things. I got a shirt. It's the first Too Many Games shirt I bought since the first year I was there, when they had like a Sonic Sega theme thing. This is a play off of the first Splatterhouse game title logo. Words. What are words? And it's a long sleeve too. I like long sleeves, especially because fall's coming up. And then I also grabbed at that booth that helped us out with the Dreamcast and the game. When we were done, at the end of the day, like we needed it the whole weekend to kind of host Soul/Pole Calibur. So when I went back, I was ready for us to have to pay like 80. Dreamcasts go for like $100 right now. And so I walk up to the guy and I'm like, hey, thank you so much. You literally saved our booth this weekend, and blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, we were thinking 75 or 80. And he's like, 60's good. And I was like, wow. All right, cool. You don't have to do any of this for us. And when I went back to the booth, I was telling Anti-Chris, he's like, where's this booth? And him and I hoofed it right back over there to buy some shit to support him. So he got a Super Famicom, and I grabbed NBA Showtime, which is what we've been playing every year in the marathon the past like 2 or 3, because this is the one where we put in a code to be the Raptor mascot for just goofing off in 4-player. It was $20. It had a $20 price tag. He gave it to me for 10 because I had cash on me. So that's what a lot of the booths do, is they'll give you a discount just because you have cash. Yeah. And then I also found Disney's Extreme Skate Adventure, which is, according to Rachel, the Super Disney fan, her recommendation, because it's similar to Tony Hawk in feel, but it's got like a really dumb early 2000s pop punky soundtrack, and it's Disney, so whatever. But I grabbed that. Yeah.
I don't want to speak ill of Rachel, because I love Rachel. but the last time she recommended a Disney game was the Disney Magical Enchanted Racing thing on the Dreamcast.
Dude, no, we played more of that, and it is super solid. It is like so blatantly ripping off Mario Kart. The single player game is where to go.
Oh, okay.
But it is hard. It is difficult. Like we struggled to get first, and you have to get first to progress in the game, not like top 3. But no, it was she and I have had a lot of fun actually like switching off playing that game.
Okay, because when we played it in the Dreamcast Marathon like a couple of years ago, it did not go so well. It's not a very fun game.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe she redeemed herself. Fantastic.
But yeah, no, I'm glad we own that, and we'll try that out. And then the other thing I got was just a pin. I try to get a little enamel pin every year at Too Many Games. Throw it on a cork board, you know. Oh, and I want to give a quick shout out. I forget. Oh, the game is called Mason and Strings. But I want to give a quick shout out to In the Snow Studios. They have a cool platforming rhythm puzzle game where you play a guitar that talks also, and you have to solve puzzles while you're platforming in the game. It's pretty neat.
Okay.
I think that's everything.
Cool.
But Too Many Games was fun and stressful, and I am staying longer next time. Job be damned. I'll get fucking fired. I don't care. But Jesus Christ, I was not ready to go back home after that.
Oh, man.
Woof.
Oh, well, hopefully next year I might be able to actually come out. Let's see if this COVID thing's blown over. Well, I hope it does eventually. Or travel just gets locked, like travel restrictions get lifted a little bit. But
one last thing I was going to say. I've gotten better at collecting at conventions because I'm really just going for 32X games. And it's so easy to see from a distance if a booth has like 32X because they've got that ugly orange-yellow box. So didn't see anything that was not sun damaged or overpriced. So that was all right, though.
Cool. Yeah, 32X is so hard to get in the UK. It's basically...
Oh, really?
we did have Chum Lee like right across from our booth, too.
Yeah. Oh my God. We had Wada Games right across from us, and every time I looked at them, I was just like, "Fucking God, have mercy on your souls." Yeah. So, but Chumley was there.
I don't know who that is, but okay.
Oh God damn it, Graham! I wish I pray that I don't keep up with games like you do sometimes because Wada Games is single-handedly destroying the retro market.
Oh,
so,
okay.
But. Yeah.
Brilliant. Oh, no, it's not good. Right. Chris, is there any final thoughts or anything from Too Many Games?
Yeah, are you talking to me?
Am I?
Yes.
Yeah, overall, I had a really good time. At first, it's an entirely different experience going to a convention when you're running a booth versus going there for fun. So it's a lot of work. I mean, because most of the time you're sitting at your booth trying to interact with people and, explain the magazine and what we're doing. And then, oh, by the way, we also have Pole Calibur, which is this really weird fucking thing. So you have to explain that. And so it's just a completely different experience. But I'm finding that I really enjoy it in a completely different way. I enjoy going and showing people Megavisions and spreading awareness of it, because I find that when people see it and see the magazine in their hands, they really like it. And I love that. And so that's really what I get out of now going to conventions, because I've been going to conventions for over like 10 years now. And for the most part, I don't get that same excitement for hunting for video games that I used to, 8 years ago or so. And so usually I just like to go just to, just see the people and see what, new stuff is around and stuff like that. But I really enjoyed being there with the crew, just showing everyone Megavisions. And, I thought Pole Calibur went really great. It was an exciting event. I think we learned a lot from it. We're going to be able to, get better. Our booth is going to be able to get better, at each event we go to. So I'm excited to kind of take what we learned from there and kind of keep getting better, and hopefully just have an overall better booth experience for people that come to the conventions.
Bring 2 Dreamcasts and 2 copies of Soul Calibur and many fishing rods, and you're sorted. I think that's what you need. Cool.
Well, we have that now, so
Okay, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that, let's wrap that up. And do we want to crack on with the news? So the first thing we've got up is actually, Scotty, do you want to take the news this week? Or no, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. So first thing up is Nintendo has released another trailer for the Nintendo Switch Plus online expansion pack, basically. So, they've released...
Nintendo Switch Online offers 5 benefits that level up your gaming experience.
Make that a bit quieter. They've released pricing details and... just a bit more information, really.
Expand it further
so, here's the trailer that they've got. Let's sit down and watch.
Which includes even more benefits.
Isn't that the one that's
Let's
like
check out what's included with Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, unless it's overpoweringly loud compared to me, I don't know if I'm going to do this, because I realized the only thing I pay for online on the Nintendo Switch is to play Tetris 99. And, like, the only thing I use PS Plus for on my PS4 is to play Rocket League. So it's like, I don't know how much I really, really need this.
Mm-hmm.
TJ says turn the volume down, so it might be too loud.
So you can play.
Okay, in my ears. I'll turn the volume off. There we go. That's a bit easier.
Yeah, we don't have to hear it. And we don't need to get DMCA'd or whatever either. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I guess you can use online for the Genesis games, which are essentially everything except for shit. What's it called? Yeah, Musha. On the Genesis is on the Genesis Mini. Otherwise, I mean, it's cool to have some of these N64 games on there, but I'll say the negative and then we'll get into the positive, I guess. The negative is, god damn, you could release more games, Nintendo. Like, not, what is it, 8 or something? You have a whole library, because the N64 was like when third-party support was starting to dwindle for Nintendo, and then the GameCube had barely any, but then the Wii blew up. So they have other first-party stuff they could be throwing on here. It'll be cool to play like Dr. Mario online with people and stuff like that, but I don't care about those as much as maybe they want me to. Animal Crossing will be all Rachel. I'm sure we'll probably still get this net thing now that I think about it, because I think you have to be online to play the Animal Crossing crap.
Okay.
So I think we lost Chris, so we'll say goodbye to Chris.
Bye, Chris.
Because his outdoor internet on the farm was not helping him out.
Yeah, it was getting dark and scary out there. I could see the light fading.
Yeah, the sun was setting on the internet and his day.
Man.
So, but Genesis stuff could be cool. I don't remember. I should have had the list of Genesis games in front of me to know what I'm talking about here. But what do you think of all this, Graham?
So, yeah, I'm interested. This is what I wanted the Switch Online to be when they first launched it, because the thing that really annoyed me is, just annoys me in general about Nintendo, is they've never sorted out their online stuff. They've always had some quite cool ideas, and it's never really worked. Like the Wii Virtual Console, if you remember that back then, that was basically groundbreaking for its time, because no other system had that. It's like Microsoft sort of adopted a similar thing with Xbox Live Arcade. At the time, it was all original games, and then eventually sort of old retro games sort of started to appear on there. But when
I mean, like with the sorry to interrupt you. I'll say this real quick because I'll forget when we get away from the Virtual Console. But that was like the first thing. Granted, the Wii out of PS3 and 360 was the first console I had of that generation. But in college, me and my roommate at the time, we knew when games were out on the Virtual Console, so we would turn it on that morning to see like, oh, what uploaded this day. And then I think we eventually knew what time of day it was going to upload or update. And so actually, I remember one of the first games we bought on there was Splatterhouse, the first Splatterhouse. So that's appropriate with my shirt. But so that just to speak, kind of try to speak volumes of what the Virtual Console was on the Wii and how important it was.
But yeah, and like the Wii Virtual Console was a really cool thing at the time. There were some problems in that it's like lacking some things like online, achievements or whatever. Couldn't redo. They didn't have online multiplayer, as well I remember from it. But it was like almost like a pure retro experience with save states, basically. So nothing too fancy. There's quite a few games I missed back when they first launched. I wasn't really a NES player. I played the SNES a bit and stuff, but yeah, NES games I missed out on. So I downloaded a ton of those. And that's what I wanted to see with like the Switch and stuff. When the Switch came out and they're like, oh, we've got online, and they finally got online multiplayer sorted. It's like, oh, cool. What else do you got? And then it's like, eventually they said, you can play a few NES games and a few SNES games. Like, okay. And I played a few of them and I was like, okay, these are fine. It was cheap. So I was like, that's fine. It's cheap. But yeah, I've been waiting to see these other games come out, like, Genesis and stuff. That was the other thing about the Wii Virtual Console. They had game consoles that were not Nintendo on there, which was great.
Right.
That was really cool. So yeah, that's what I want to see more of. And I'm glad they got the N64 stuff, because I know Chris hates the N64, but I really enjoyed it. I think it's got a lot of hidden gems on there. So yeah, I'm excited to play it. And the problem with the Genesis games is most of them have been released on aren't most of them actually available on the Genesis collection pack on the Switch anyway, or something?
Maybe. I do know, though, for a fact that every game that they're releasing on here, except for Musha, is on the Genesis Mini.
Okay, there you go. So yeah, it's annoying. It seems to be, we're getting the same games again and again and again.
But I wrestle with this because it is Nintendo. It's 2 steps forward, or wait, what is it? 1 step forward, 2 steps backward, whatever that phrase is.
That's the phrase.
Because with their online stuff, it's the most progressive I've seen anyone do with their classic library. Because like the Genesis games on Steam have no multiplayer.
That's true.
You can do local stuff, but then like Corey and we hopped on and played. We did this one night for a stream for a Thursday night thing. Did you freeze for me? Am I okay?
Yep.
What's happening?
Hi.
Think yeah, you're good. No, we just hopped on and just like went through the library, but they have it on there that you can just swap the controller over to your buddy, or you can play co-op. Like we were switching off with Donkey Kong, and other co-op games and stuff. Like nothing is as seamless as that unless you're using emulators or Parsec. So It's like, this is exactly what this is literally what I want for the Sega library at this point. Like, I think we're in that niche, like you and I particularly, we're in that niche where like, you don't have to do a reimagining or a remix or whatever version. Just literally put the Genesis, the CD, please put the Saturn library online. And if you do nothing but add like the games that are multiplayer, Graham, can you imagine if we could just hop online and just play Toy Commander against each other right now? Like that is all we want.
I'd be a very happy person. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. So like, this is exactly what they're doing. So that in mind, like I found the list for the Genesis stuff: Castlevania Bloodlines, Contra Hardcore, Mean Bean Machine, Echo, Golden Axe. It looks like just Golden Axe 1, Gunstar Heroes, Musha, Phantasy Star 4, Ristar, Shining Force, Shinobi 3, Sonic 2, Streets of Rage, Strider. So to just hop on and play those online, or even just to switch off, just to like see like, hey, can you beat my time in Sonic or something, or Ristar? That's very cool, and that is appealing to me. Is it $50 appealing though? I don't know about that, but if I can justify playing them online, that is very cool.
Yeah, and the thing is, like the $50, it's for a year. So to me, that is actually really cheap still.
That is the cheapest online service, I think, because PS Plus is $60. I don't even know what Microsoft's different.
I mean, I pay for the
Isn't
Ultimate.
It all under one umbrella now?
Yeah, kind of. You can pay for slightly different versions, but I pay for the Ultimate one, which is like £10, £12 a month or something. I can't remember now. I think it's £10 a month. I can't remember. I just put it. It goes into my bank account. My money vanishes. I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's. Yeah, so yeah, this is the cheapest one. So in a way, this is really, really good value for what you're getting. So that's cool. Just to double check, the N64 games, they're not online multiplayer, are they? Or are they?
I hope they are. It would make sense to me. Let me see if it actually says.
Because if they are, like playing Mario Kart 64 online and stuff like that, that would be freaking awesome. Like, imagine that.
It says they have additional online features not found in the originals, save states. So I am 100% assuming that, because what you can do, I don't know how much experience you have with playing the SNES and NES games online right now, but you have save states. All of them are online in terms of sharing the controller. Like if you and I were playing like the first Tetris, we didn't want to play 2-player, but I maybe pause the game and you can take control and just you're playing first player now. So I assume they're going to do the same thing.
That would
if
be
that's
cool.
the case, then yeah, they need to get like Star Fox will be fun to play that online.
That'd be cool. Well, Star Fox
they really
quite
need
a fun
to get
4-player multiplayer. But yeah,
Diddy Kong Racing is one they need to have on here.
Yeah, if they can do a deal with Microsoft, because Microsoft technically,
oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Rare.
Yeah, because of Rare, Microsoft technically kind of partly owns that game, even though it's technically Nintendo characters. It's very confusing. But although Banjo is Microsoft, anyway, but they've got Banjo-Kazooie on here, which is Microsoft now. So
they do.
Yeah, one of the Banjo games is definitely on here. It definitely appeared in the advert. I'm sure I saw it pop. I'm sure I saw his little face pop up. Oh, wait, sorry. I'm sorry. Blah, blah, blah. You guys bring up because I was just flicking through the video. Yes, you can play online with 4-player on Mario Kart.
Oh, there you go.
And Star Fox. And there he is. There's little Banjo. There's his little face.
He is.
Yeah.
Weird.
So,
all right, IGN, you got to update your list. Damn it.
Yeah, so that's very exciting. I'm more excited now. The online multiplayer, that's sold. I'm sold. Yeah, and to be honest, I'm not the biggest Nintendo fan. I'm not the biggest Zelda fan, but I love Ocarina of Time. And I love Majora's Mask, so I will play them again and again, even though I own them on like my 3DS and my N64 and everything else.
Hey, well, you're in luck because with Nintendo's track record, they're probably going to do a Zelda collection, even though they just released Skyward Sword and they're releasing Ocarina of Time a third time right now. Mm-hmm. Oh, I guarantee you there'll be a Zelda collection soon.
I bought Skyward Sword, and I remember why I never finished it on the Wii originally because I hate it. It's a terrible game. I'm sorry. I know there are people out there who love it. I think it's one of the worst Zelda games. I think it's not a very fun game. So,
it seems like every 3D Zelda game has been more polarizing than the last, except for Ocarina of Time, I feel like.
Yeah.
So.
Because even Majora's Mask, that was some people really didn't like it much because it's very different.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because in fact,
I will say, like, I mean, fuck, I may as well just plan on me getting this because I also realized like a couple of days ago, I'm like $20 to Nintendo. What the fuck is that? Oh, the online thing just rebooted itself. So again, just money's going to companies. So,
yeah,
I mean, we'll get this for Animal Crossing probably, but it'll be cool because I've never played Sin and Punishment. I do want to try. I really like the Mario Tennis on GameCube, so I am excited to try the N64 one.
Yeah, I never played that. It looks quite cool.
And Star Fox 64, I'm probably more excited about than anything to play multiplayer with that. So, I think it'll be good. Might have to go against our beliefs on a Thursday night throwdown and throw a couple of those on. Who knows?
Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, I'd love to play.
Oh wait, we can give it a twist because Platinum Games, who used to make Sega games, made the last Star Fox, which is what followed this game. And Platinum, Sega, yep, we got there.
Yeah, we're there. We're already there. Oh, I love it. Now, I'd love to play like a game like Mario 64 or one of the Zelda games with someone, like, swapping controllers and stuff, because that's what I used to do with my friends. We used to sit there in the room together playing, do you want to have a go at this level, or do you want to try and get this star or whatever? And
yep.
So much fun. And playing Star Fox.
Hand it over after every death or every level beat or whatever.
Yeah, that's so good. Oh, yeah. I'm actually very excited. The more we spoke about this, the more excited I am for it. It's really weird.
Yeah, I just talked myself into it. Damn it.
Pump myself up. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah. And I know we spoke about this before the show. I want to play Win Back, even though now you've told me it's not very good. But that was a game I always wanted to play back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I remember reading about in magazines.
And choice, though.
Yeah, it's a strange choice. It's one of those games you don't really hear about. But I remember reading it in magazines back in the day. And it sounded like the Metal Gear Solid for the N64. It clearly didn't take off, but I'm interested. I'm just interested to see what it's like. But yeah, there we go. So so I think.
Apparently, Win Back released on PS2. I didn't even know that.
Really?
Yeah, it's by Virgin Interactive. or no, I'm sorry, it was published by them. The developer is Omega Force, which I've never heard of. I don't know. I think the problem. I think I have a feeling this game was also a victim of circumstance, because if you remember the N64, like every game like was like $80 in the US. So it was like $20. It was cartridges.
Yeah.
Nintendo was doing cartridges, which were still more expensive to produce when PS2 and Dreamcast or PS1 were out on cheapo CDs. So, you know.
Yeah. Because I remember when Turok Dinosaur Hunter came out in the UK, it was something like 80 or 90 pounds. And just like people were like, what? This is insane. People bought it. But yeah, it was like really like, whew. That was like the most expensive game ever or something at release. But then, yeah, then it sort of dropped in price. I think I got it when it was like £40, which is kind of the average price for a N64 game over here, £40 to £50.
That's about, yeah.
It was weird, actually, because the games really varied in price, I remember, on the N64. Like,
oh, yeah.
That was a really weird thing. 'Cause normally, it was like, there was like a £5, maybe £10 difference, and it seemed to be like a good £20 to £30 difference in prices. Really bizarre.
No, I remember. No, you're 100% correct, because I remember.
Oh, Scotty, you've frozen for me.
I'm back now, maybe?
There you go. There you go. That's better. Yeah. You remember something. That's what I got.
Yeah, I remember there was a year where I had money at Christmas instead of getting a game, and I wanted to buy a Nintendo 64 game, but couldn't afford all the showstoppers. So the cheaper variant that I got was Body Harvest. Did you ever play that?
I did, and I thought it was actually a fun game. So you probably hated it.
I don't think I appreciated it as a kid, but I played it recently, and that's made by Rockstar before they were Rockstar.
Yeah, DM.
What the heck were they called?
Is it DMA
yeah, something
or
like.
Or...
I think that was it. But
yeah,
that game is surprisingly like ahead of itself of that library. Viewers and listeners, no surprise if you've never heard of Body Harvest, but the cover of it is just this praying mantis demon monster like about to eat planet Earth. But it is a open world game where you're driving around trying to kill giant bugs, but you can go like into buildings, talk to NPCs, find stuff in the buildings, drive around in the Jeep again outside. It's kind of crazy, like to the point that I need to talk about it more.
Well, maybe we should jump on a stream one day and play it together.
I'd find an excuse to play that, because I think that would also be a case of like people hopping into the chat and being like, "What is this? Why have I never heard of this?" Well, I can give you a list of reasons you have not.
I do remember having terrible fogging though, like one of those things in 64 games that were a bit too advanced. They had lots of fogging, but it was a fun game. I remember it being a fun game. My friend had it. I never owned it. Unless I might have picked up a second-hand copy, which wouldn't be here anymore because I sent my N64 games back to my parents. But yeah, I've got a feeling I might have picked up a random second-hand copy from local store. But at the time, my friend had it. I spoke with him. I think I got Space Station Silicon Valley and he got Body Harvest.
Those were out around the same time, I remember.
I really enjoyed Space Station Silicon Valley, so I don't regret the choice. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was a very fun game. But so that I think from what we've both said, we're seem quite interested and excited about the Nintendo Online service now that we've spoken about it.
Hey, if anything, I'm excited that it'll bring Ristar into more people's lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, so.
And win back. That's all we want. Should we quickly go into the last bit of news, do you think? So I'm quite interested in this. Yeah.
Keep on trucking here.
Yeah. So if you don't know the news, and you may not, it looks like some hackers have basically managed to crack the emulator which some shoot 'em ups which were released on the Switch are using. So there's basically some SEGA Saturn shoot 'em ups, which was Cotton 2, Cotton Boomerang, and Guardian Force. They were released on PlayStation 4 and Switch. Those were Saturn games, they're arcade and Saturn games basically. But it looks like they were running the Saturn versions, and basically some guys and girls over at GBA Temp have effectively managed to hack the emulator that was being used or something, and they've tested out some other Saturn games on it, and apparently it runs pretty well, which is pretty cool. So yeah, they let's see, they've actually got a video here, so let's crack open this image. Let's Sure.
Yeah, so worth noting for those that might not know, the Saturn is notoriously difficult to emulate. Um, even though there are Saturn emulators, there are many of the ROMs or many of the games do not work on them. So
Yes,
this is a
yeah.
big deal. This is a big deal for hacking culture and basically us.
Yeah.
What we write about. So
yeah, it's pretty cool as well. Apparently the article that we've got actually sort of mentions that it looks like they might be using a modded version of SSF emulator, which is probably the biggest Saturn emulator out there, basically. And I'm not going to lie, I've used it myself in the past. So yeah, like mostly to play my Japanese games because I don't have the ability to play them otherwise. If I don't have a Japanese Saturn. There's also you can also get
say for archival purposes is what you're doing, right?
Well, yes, that as well. But yeah, it's so yeah, SSF is probably the best one. I think it's still being updated. Most of them have stopped being updated. At least, like, so you got the Yabuse, and I can't remember the rest of them now. Yabuse was the second one I used to use the most. So this is quite exciting. Let's see what other games they actually show off. I think they show off a few games.
Yeah, this is Destruction Derby. The first one has not aged well. Duke Nukem. Why not?
Yeah, indeed. A game that I still don't know why people love so much. But this is one of those games I'm like,
Duke Nukem is a piece of shit person, but I always was a fan of the level design more than I was Doom or Quake. So that's my defense for it.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. Yeah, nice. Controversially, I enjoyed Duke Nukem 64 because it had co-op mode. So yeah.
64. Okay, because there's like 3 Duke Nukem games on the 64.
Oh, okay, no. It's basically the remake of the Saturn, PlayStation, and PC game. Nice. So you got they tested out Guardian Heroes. This is what a game I used to love back in the day. Hang On.
I really want Hang On. Like, I want to legit own this game. That's the thing too. Is I think everyone's learning from the pandemic how expensive it is to be a Sega collector. The Saturn has never been cheap to collect for, no matter what region you're in. So that's another big deal for having a Saturn emulator is being able to play games that are not affordable.
Yeah, because you get the average games like Sega Rally and stuff, which are really cheap, but the better. Well, Sega Rally is a great game. Sega Rally is my favorite racing game, but then you get some other ones which no one's really heard of or everyone raves about, and they're so expensive to collect for. It's very frustrating. This game I've never played, Heart of Darkness. Have you played this?
I forgot that was on the Saturn. I thought that was a PC game, actually. I don't know much about that one. It looks like a PC game. It's very much the not cell shaded, but sort of pre-rendered graphics.
It kind of looks like it could be a point and click adventure if you show me a still screen of that.
Yeah.
Herc's Adventures. This is a really fun game. I don't know if you've ever played this.
No,
it's surprisingly challenging as well. It's like a top-down view. You can play as Hercules, or I've forgotten her name now, but yeah, she's got a bow and arrow. Hercules, I think, has a sword or something, and it's kind of funny. It's got quite comical in the way the characters are and stuff.
It looks like Dragon's Lair kind of style animation almost.
Yeah, the animation and I guess graphics are kind of like that. It plays like a kind of Gauntlet style game, basically, almost.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
I've never really played much of it. Possibly one of my favorite games. This is actually my favorite light game of all time. I love House of the Dead. So I'm very excited.
This one is harder than the second one, so it would be cool if they.
Do you think?
Oh yeah, I can fly through the second one, but I have trouble with the first one. But that might just be from experience. I don't know.
See, I find the first one easier. I dual wield this baby. Like I run around like Matrix style. I love
that's me in Virtua Cop 1 and 2. I could do that all day.
Oh yeah, so much fun. Yeah, me and my friends used to play this all the time, and we went through all the different routes and stuff. It was so much fun. And that's what I loved about this, the different multiple routes.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I would love if they somehow, hackers are nuts anymore. I would love if they somehow made it so that you could use the Joy-Con as a light gun.
That would...
So.
Make it happen. Oh, please, someone.
It's easy, isn't it? Now, this game I do want, because it was another one that, no joke, in the same weekend, renting Die Hard Arcade, my buddy and I rented In the Hunt. It's a shoot 'em up, but you're a submarine. It's very good. It's very good, but it is one of the more expensive. Not one of the more expensive, but like you're not going to find it for less than $80 or $100 now, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen screenshots of this, but never actually seen it being played or. Ooh, that looks cool. Yeah, you need more submarine shoot 'em up games. What's going on?
Yeah.
Make it happen, someone.
Someone.
Ion Storm. Yeah, this is a game I also don't actually know anything about.
Like,
what the hell is it?
Strategy thing?
Sorry, try and find some actual gameplay footage.
Entirely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This would not be my cup of tea.
Yeah, that really looks like that game was on mobile and stuff.
Oh yeah, you could totally throw this on mobile.
Oh, bit of 3D graphics there. Nice. Whoops.
Sort of, yeah. What else we got?
What else we got? This Konami Antiques MSX collection.
Why would you put the word antique in your title if you want to sell something? You don't call something an antique, you call it classic, you idiots. Yeah, you call this game just Machine Head, don't you? In the UK, it's called Blam Machine Head. Blam with an exclamation mark. It's a much better name. This looks. There's a lot to this HUD that I don't know if it needs to be.
Oh, actually, no, this is a different game.
It looks like a faster mech head or mech warrior.
Is this the game?
Oh no, Metalhead. Metalhead is a 32X game. Is that what you said? I might have heard you wrong.
No, Blam Machine Head. This is called Machine Head.
Blam.
I'm pretty sure this is the game I'm thinking of. Basically, you're in this cool little hover car thing where basically you've been strapped into it, and the world. Yeah. Weirdly, though, this looks like a completely different game now. I'm saying this.
It looks really impressive for a Saturn game. I'll say that too.
Yeah, if this is the same game I'm thinking of, but basically it's like this weird plague that's affected the world, and if you go, you can get poisoned and you die, or you turn into like these weird monsters, and basically you have to drive around. And this like hover thing. This is not the same game I'm thinking of. This is a different game. This is a mech game. Okay. I was thinking about a completely different game. There's one called Blam Machine Head. Apologies for this.
That's okay.
They look the guns look the same though. You've got these two guns sticking out the front. That's
probably made by the same company or something.
Maybe. Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of a very similar sort of thing. But yeah, Blam Machine Head looks a bit. Yeah, I think Blam Machine Head actually looks better than this. You've got bigger levels to run around and stuff. And anyway. Another cool game, Last Bronx, which I love.
Oh, man, yeah. I've never played this one, but I know it's part of the Model 2 fighters.
I think I still prefer Virtual Fighter and Fighters Megamix. But
this looks like it's faster than... I could never get into Virtual Fighter. It's just too floaty for me, but I'm not really a fighting game guy, so...
Yeah, this is cool, though. Like, the weapons and stuff make it really cool.
Jesus, there's one guy... are like a yard long.
Yeah. And there is one guy, I think it's meant to be a sword he's got, but visually it looks like it's just a big bit of wood. It looks like he just walks on and just goes, it's like hitting people with a big bit of wood. It's brilliant. And a game I never really enjoyed, but my friend loved, Loaded.
Yeah, I want to get this. It's one I missed out on, but when I learned of it, like, eras later, I do want to play Loaded, just a top-down bloody for the sake of being bloody,
Yeah, I don't know why I just couldn't get into this game, but my friend had it and he loved it and played it a few times. I was like, it's not for me, I think. But looking at it now, it does look pretty insane, and the lighting effects are really good.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I'm actually quite impressed. I'm not going to lie. Maybe I'll try and pick it up and see.
It's like he's firing a bunch of cigarettes out of that gun.
He does actually. Cigarette gun. Oh yeah.
Cigarette. Is that everything in there?
I think that's the list of all the games.
All right. Well, if you wanted a podcast where we just sit and look at Saturn games, then you got it.
But apparently, they've also played Nights into Dreams, Radiant Silvergun, Panzer Dragoon, Panzer Dragoon Zwei, and Burning Rangers, and Dark Savior, Clockwork Knight, Astal, brilliant, Dragon Force, and Elevator Action Returns.
That is one I will never own because of the price, but really want to.
Man, yeah. I'd love to play Burning Rangers. This is the thing, like you could play. You could argue you could play Saturn games on your Saturn or on PC with an emulator, but having a handheld thing, like I want to have Knights handheld. That's one thing I've always wanted.
Oh yeah.
Oh god damn it! And like I know you can get Panzer Dragoon, like the remake on Switch, but like playing Panzer Dragoons Y, which I know is also coming out, but that'd be so cool. Burning Rangers, oof. Yeah, I'm Clockwork Knight, big fan. Yeah, so
can you imagine if somehow they got online working for this too? I mean, that's not even gonna whatever. But I mentioned Saturn Bomberman. Just give me something else to play Saturn Bomberman on. That would be great.
Yeah, that would be. How many Switch controllers can you connect to a Switch?
I think. Well, you can do 2 per controller. So I want to say 8 because I think there is a. There's already something out that uses 8, and I can't remember what game that is.
Because if they can somehow get that working, you could in theory play, 8-player Bomberman, Saturn Bomberman on the Switch.
Yep,
that would be freaking amazing.
Yep.
Oh,
yes, please.
Wow. Okay, yeah, I'm excited. This is better than the Switch Online official thing.
This could be great. Let's hope Nintendo themselves never find out about it because they'll shut this down real quick.
Oops. Well, hopefully, I assume they don't. We're too small for them to watch, but yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Nintendo, if you're listening, suck it.
Oh dear. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that sort of comes to the end of the show, really, doesn't it?
Short show today, but we skipped the chilling stuff, and I'm not some cool indie dev to be interviewed. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But next time we should definitely get you on to play some games because what you talk about switching controllers, we have been using PiePacker online, which has that option, so we can easily switch controllers if we want to on a single player game, or have 2 or 3 players playing and switch around. So yeah, we should get you on to play a bit more of that. Would be good.
Yeah, I'm down.
Cool. But yeah, thanks for joining us. Thanks for being my co-pilot. Basically, once again, you're back. Basically, well, that promise anything. But yeah, with Chris's absence, Chris's terrible internet, and living in a yard by the looks of it. Yeah.
He gave me, I mean, I crashed there over the Too Many Games weekend. It's a nice big house. It's the size they need.
Yeah.
That barn, I mean, he keeps calling it a barn, but there is an actual barn in the middle. I don't know how much he actually showed you guys of the property. I remember he gave a quick tour once, but there is a literal barn building in the middle that's it's not as structurally sound as it should be, but the building where he has his office and stuff, like that is what we all need as collectors. We don't need just a shelf or 2. We need a separate building for our shit. And that's what he has now. So, I think he'll get the most excited when he's got shelves up and he's putting up games he hasn't seen for years and stuff. Cause when I was there, I was looking at his crap, of course. Like he's got his Toe Jam and Earl figures. He forgot he backed that Kickstarter tier to get, and like he had. I'm like looking at the shelf, and then I see Tempo on the 32X. I'm like, "You own this?" He's like, "Yeah, I've never opened it." I'm like, "You've got to play this."
Oh God, that's so Chris.
So yeah.
Oh dear, yeah. But yeah, hopefully one of the houses we're looking at might have a garage on it, or garage, or what, carport. Well, I don't know what you guys call them over there.
It's a garage.
Okay, good. Yeah. But yeah, they. So yeah, if that happens, maybe I might convert that into some sort of games room shed type thing. So
do it. Then you can stay up as late as you want playing games.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. We may not get that place, but that's one of the things we looked at. Like, ooh, very excited.
Does it work over there in the UK that you put in a bid and you just hope that they take it or whatever, or? Yeah,
basically, you go view the house and then you go, I'd like to give you some cash for this. And they go, not enough. And you go, oh, okay, then I'll give you a bit more. So yeah, basically. And then the process is pretty long though. Once they've agreed, it then takes like 3 months before you can even move, really, like all the legal tape and stuff. It's not easy. In Australia, it's different. It's like an auction. Do you have auctions in America? Or
not for houses? Well, I mean, I'm sure there are some for houses, but not to that extent. Not common, like it sounds like it is over there.
Yeah, like over there, that's basically the main way of doing it. Like over here, occasionally, I've heard of auctions like once or twice, but yeah, over in Australia, it's basically like you have like an open day, people come view the house, and then they literally stand outside and sort of go, so who wants to make a bid? And sometimes they're silent, and sometimes they can sort of go, I bid 500,000 or whatever.
Wow.
And yeah, they go done. And then once you've agreed though, once you put that bid in and they've agreed to it, you're legally contracted to actually buy the place. Whereas in the UK, you can put out the last second, basically, until that money's completely changed hands. Like, you lose out money on like fees and stuff, but yeah, you can literally go, actually, don't really want to buy this place anymore. Bye. It's like, oh,
yeah,
and it completely screws people over.
Australia's a different world, though. Yeah, you can have this house for only $3,200, but it has a room full of scorpions. Good luck.
Oh dear, yeah, it's. Yeah. My partner, she says, you don't really get spiders and snakes over here that much, especially not in the cities. And I was like, when I went to Australia, I saw a snake on the road, and I was that close to one I was that close to one of the most poisonous spiders in the world. I was like, that happened to me in Australia in quite a populated city.
that is entirely relative, because we get different bugs here than like Chris does across the state. And when I was over there, he hasn't sealed off the barn yet. So there were enough bugs and mosquitoes in there that I was just like, I'm going to stand in the middle of the room where I'm safe, But meanwhile, in my house, I don't have to worry. Well, it depends. We're not going to talk about bugs now. That's a different podcast.
Yeah. Let's talk about Bug, the SEGA Saturn game. See if someone's playing that. I've actually been trying to look for games that people might be playing, and I can't find anything good.
Right. They got to be playing some Halloween-y stuff, like Zombies Ate My Neighbors or something.
Let's see that. Zombies Ate My
I don't know if Curse of Ilmor Bay is on there. Well, while you're doing that, I will let people know what I'm doing, I guess. I've been hosting a podcast with Corey of the Megavision streaming crew and the Scrubverse family. It's called the Static Zone Podcast. So what we do is just talk about movies so far. We might get into video games. We might get into TV series, maybe even comic books or just regular books. But most recently, we watched Galaxy of Terror, and that's the second spooky-ish movie of the month of Spooktober. We just record every other week, and I'm actually going to do that right after this. But yeah, if you want to follow us on Twitter, is probably the best way, because that's got our link tree. But on there, we are Static Zone Pod, a POD at the end there. Yeah, and I think the next movie we're watching is Army of Darkness, and I don't know what else. We'll see what November brings. But yeah, we're kind of been doing that.
So I literally can't find anyone to raid at the moment. There's like no one playing.
Oh, okay. Well, you talk about stuff, and I'll try to find something.
Okay.
And I just closed the Twitch window. Good job, me. Oh, one other thing. Well, I'll mention real quick about the Static Zone podcast, though, is like it was kind of a result of the Sideshow closing forever ago. And so it's sort of an extension of that, because we just wanted an excuse to talk about whatever, but that was not entirely Sega or even video game related. So that's how we got there.
Oh, cool. Awesome. So, and if you don't know who we are Megavisions. You can find us on basically all the social medias. On Twitter, we are at Megavisions Mag. On Instagram, we are at Megavisions. We're also on Facebook at Megavisions. We have a Patreon, so come and find us on Patreon. We sell magazines like the example that Scotty is holding up just then, and it also showed us at the start of the show. So yeah, we've actually just released the latest issue, which has been a bit of a revamp for the magazine, a bit of a new change in design and sort of course, but really excited to get my hands on it once it finally gets shipped over to the UK. But yeah, really good. So yeah, I'm hoping to get those pumped out a bit more regularly now. You can also buy them in digital versions. We've got some cool posters as well. You can find us online at megavisionsmag.net Megavisions.net, where we have regular Sega news, reviews, and other fun stuff. Yeah, and you can also check out more of the magazines there. But yeah, be sure to sort of like and subscribe, hit those buttons, share with your friends, all that sort of jazz. We really appreciate it. And if anyone came to Too Many Games and saw the booth, let us know how it went.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear your feedback, especially if you got in the Pole Calibur action. Yeah. Did Scotty beat you because you had your controller port plugged into port 2? Who knows?
Never again. I'm sorry for everything. I did find somebody playing Illbleed, so we'll go ahead and raid them again.
Perfect.
And not them again, but someone playing Illbleed again.
That's what
it looks like their name is Emmy Fails. I'll go ahead and get that ready if you've got anything else to say, Graham.
I don't really have much else to say now, other than thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and yeah, have a great weekend, everybody, and be excellent to each other.
Peace. Honey, I gotta tell you about this sandwich.